Good afternoon.
How did the week off treat the guys after that wild run you had there a week earlier?
Yeah, it was good to get time off. I thought that they came back well rested. We've had 2 very good days of practice, a lot of energy. Still need to clean up, the aggression part that you kind of lose and just all that. But a couple guys got sick, but I think that's just going around everywhere.
You guys faced Minnesota the first time around when they were at full strength, had Reggie Lynch. I think they're like 1-8 or something like that since he's been out. How different are they without him in the middle, and I guess how big of an impact was his loss?
Well, certainly a huge loss because he's such a rim protector, and it was so hard to score on with all that length and size inside. And now they're way more mid-sized. And I think they only played 7 guys against Michigan. So Richard has pared his group down. Isaiah Washington's kind of finding his own, though. A freshman coming on late in the year. He had a big game against Michigan. And, you got to stop their guard play. Nate Mason's a really good guard. Dupree McBrayer's good. And some of those other guys, though, like Dante Fitzgerald, they're kind of finding their footing a little bit. So, I think they're a little bit of a team of unknowns because some of these guys that were going to be role guys are now main players, and they're starting to play a little better and a little better. So as we go forward, we have to make sure and do a good job on everybody, and I don't think you can take anybody just because you don't know them well, like you used to know them, okay, this guy, they're good. So we have to plan accordingly.
Is any of that illness lingering, or are you guys full strength for tomorrow?
We're fine. We're good.
Does that week work against you in any way?
It is what it is. So there's nothing you can do about it. So if it works against us, we've got to minimize that as soon as possible. Try to get the guys competitive the whole time. Try to work on some of our fundamentals that we always need work on. And then, we can practice really well, but it really won't matter until you get out there and get punched in the face to how you react. And it's another road game, difficult environment to win in. So we'll just have to do a great job, and hopefully we'll get off to a quick start.
How do you kind of balance the challenge of just the next game with the buzz that's kind of building around this team as far as like postseason aspirations and things like that?
Well, I asked the guys. I asked the guys a question. And I says, "What have we accomplished so far?" And do you count winning games as accomplishment? Because I don't. And I think they all understood that, or at least they agreed with me to my face. And so, as I want them to understand what it takes for accomplishment and what that journey looks like. And the other thing I was worried about is I'm like, okay, who counted games before the beginning of the year? Who said, I think we can win 20 or 19 or 21? Like 3 guys were honest and they raised their hands. I'm like, well, here's how many I think we can win. And while that number doesn't matter, I just want them to get beyond this. I have arrived, or I think we're doing good. We just have to stay hungry, think like an underdog, and keep going from there.
What's been your evaluation of Thomas?
Thomas is an excellent player, and he's one of those guys I frequently say, we should have played Thomas more. He's a bright kid. He's doing a better job of communicating on the floor, but he's a guy I trust. I'll sit on him for 7-8 minutes at the end of a game and then put him in to shoot foul shots just because I think he's got an iron will, and he's a clutch kid.
Can you see him watching film, just see his confidence growing or his ability to know what you want him to do?
Yeah, I think what's really changed in Thomas is his acclimation to what we want to do. He's getting a little more experience in game plan. We held Glenn out for a couple practices now, and he got more and more reps, which is always important. So I think that will allow him to grow in confidence and our confidence in him to play him in critical situations.
Hey, Tim, Amy Williams mentioned last week that she's taken some concepts from you, just talking to you in your office, like the 1-3-1 zone. Have you taken anything from her?
Well, her attitude is phenomenal, first of all. Amy and I had a lot of discussions as she came in and was adjusting to a new team, a new program, a new culture, and all that fun stuff. And what I love about Amy and her staff are one, they're great people. They have unbelievable energy. And some days when you've been at one job for a while, you kind of lose that enthusiasm a little bit at times. Some of the stuff, don't let the guys get you down, right? And seeing her and her attitude is really an uplifting thing. I think that's the one thing I've learned from her.
Tim, in most of your road games, you guys have fallen behind in the first half by, between 5 and 10 points, maybe a little more than that in a couple of them. Is it just an acclimation thing?
Well, I think that as I've looked at it in the league, you know, when we've been poor in transition early in the game, we don't score well. So we're sitting there at 20 points, 24 points, whatever, where we need to be at 32, 34 points. We started out, missed 6 consecutive transition opportunities against Wisconsin. And we were down there. We missed an open 3. We missed a layup. We kind of finger rolled a deal that didn't go down for us. And so we just have to make better transition decisions, especially on the road. I've got some film clipped of us good in transition on the road and not so good. But if we're good, that means we can be good. We've done it before, so it's possible. We'll just see how that works. Anything else?
You're going to try to swing by the stadium that they played the Super Bowl in last night and say, hey, there's a team that raised the championship trophy.
Yeah, you probably should, but we're getting in so late. You know, we're kind of skipping all the air traffic out of Minneapolis, going in a little bit later tonight. So maybe I'll see it from there and go from there. So it should be a fun trip.
Did that make it difficult planning this trip?
It had an effect, there's no doubt. You know, but not on me. It's the ops guy. I'm not going to pretend like I'm getting grayer. All right, thanks.